So, fellas, and my hard R fellers that have joined the channel, I got a feel-good story for us today. I bring to you a story of right-wing unity and brotherhood, some Captain Save-A-Bro stuff, a model for political behavior, loyalty, standards, and kinship in the debate space, and overarching goals of a political movement. Andrew Wilson just ended a woman's career. Not just any woman, a woman he was actively working with. Why did Andrew do this? Because she stepped to his boy Rob Noerr. I really want to immortalize this magical moment of what a microcosm of right-wing power looks like, so let me set it up. Sara The Raging Tomato hosts what is known as a panel for people to debate. She's done organized debates and general open panel spurgfests. She's been growing in popularity, specifically due to Andrew Wilson's appearances on her panel.
A lot of people who have carved a pretty good living off of the Crucible. For instance, if you go to Sara the Tomato's channel, her top 18. Just put most popular in her live. The top 18. 18, meaning the best 18 videos that she has, the top, are all me. I didn't even know I had appeared 18 times on Sara the Tomato's channel. But the 18 times I was there are the best performing videos on the entire channel. She's about to have a big 20,000 sub party. Well, that's great. That's great. You're welcome.
So for some reason, she made the fatal mistake of siding against Rob, who was an active participant on her shows. She decided to side with the leftist underlings that trolled Rob instead of having his back. If you've seen my videos on leftists debating, these are the types of people she decided to align with. Now, I made a video a few weeks ago that you can click on here. I commented on how Sara did a very poor job moderating a debate between Rob and a classic Destiny defender. She just let this guy constantly interrupt Rob, and I thought she was right-wing, so I made my criticism polite and objective. Also, I noticed nobody else was really talking about how seemingly biased and suspicious her moderation was. I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, so I wanted to maintain a degree of candor. As it turns out, she didn't understand the assignment at all. Allow me to show you an abridged version of what I observed in my video. Now, the woman facilitating this conversation does some of the worst moderating I've ever seen in a casual debate.
The caveat on you working with him if he has underage pornographic material is...
Rob. I don't...
Talking over me, you're going to allow me to finish my point. You're going to allow me to finish my point. I don't give a shit.
Boys, that's enough.
Lady, what do you want Rob to do when Conor is going... Either he says nothing, or he tries to appeal to the moderator to be like, hey, can you step in? Or then he speaks. Like, this is not enjoyable. Can't you see what Conor is doing? And the crazy thing is, she has to know the history between Conor and Rob. She knows what's going on in Destiny's life, and how this guy is just sweeping for Destiny no matter what he does, just for clout, and to get attention, and to be the right-wing pick-me. So you already know that going into it. So even if you were biased as a moderator, people would understand because he's a very detestable, annoying, Destiny debate tactic person. But even if you were trying to be moderate and unbiased in your moderation, you would call out Conor for interrupting with just obfuscation and completely taking things off the rails. Like an unbiased referee doesn't call an equal amount of fouls on both sides. An unbiased referee calls fouls on who's committing all the fouls. Oh my god, it's insufferable. I don't know how or why that was the method of moderation. And so Rob, like the more mature person, goes, fine, go ahead. He's not getting any help from the moderator. That's what makes it frustrating to watch. It's already frustrating to watch, but when you're not moderating for the sake of a good conversation, it's such a misstep. Sweet vindication. You know, I like to think I have a pretty good intuition when it comes to these things. So let's look at her YouTube statistics. Now, she did hit 20,000 subscribers, as Andrew had mentioned. She's now down to around 16,000, minus 1.7 million views, and she removed 402 videos, oddly enough. And would you look at that, it looks like she added back 174 videos. My intuition told me to screen cap what her channel looked like. So it says 7 videos right here. The live videos showed that she was hiding 113 videos. She became flooded with comments such as this one. All your videos and lives have disappeared. I was literally in the middle of watching one and it just stopped. What happened? And someone said, damn, never seen a channel in a free fall of subscribers like this before. And now we see she has returned to 174 videos, and virtually all of the live videos appear to be back. Allow this to serve as a chronology of what happened in the event that she starts lying and trying to cover her tracks. In case you couldn't tell, I've had enough crazy girlfriends in my life to realize she would probably do something like this. But anyways, enough about me. Now let's kick it on over to Rob to give you the lowdown on what happened, and then, after that, I'm gonna show you Andrew Wilson decapitating this horrific shrew and standing up for his boy like an absolute legend. Let's go, fellas.
Panels, okay, I'm good on the panel. Connor's there. Connor's talking about real conservatives, after Charlie Kirk, and shitting on Charlie Kirk and stuff, and everyone's like, go get that fucker. Go in the open panel and get that fucker. So I go on the open panel, and I get that fucker. And he, once he starts getting blown out, starts spurting out and just fucking talking over me. It's constant. And then finally, the moderator, Sarah's just letting it go. So I fucking start talking over him. And then Sarah will be like, gentlemen, both you stop it. And then he announces, yeah, Rob, I am going to interrupt you because I think you're wrong. So anytime I think you say something that's wrong, I'll interrupt.
If I have a point to make, or if I feel like you're asking a question that implies something, I'm going to interrupt you in order to point it out. And if you're not an asshole, you'll let me do it.
Bragging that he's going to interrupt. He proceeds to do it for the majority of the debate. At one point in that debate, Sarah tells me that the reason he's interrupting me is because I said that he should stop. Dusty, why can't you be quiet when other people are talking?
Because he doesn't like it when you tell him what to do. If you don't tell him what to do, he'll actually oblige more accordingly.
Okay, I let him talk unfettered, basically. And if the game's going to be, oh, we know, we'll just keep interrupting Rob, and Sarah will just sit there and let it go. And then when I'm like, what the fuck is this? Are they going to shut up or whatever? Sarah's going to be like, Rob, you asking them to not interrupt's why they're interrupting. I don't need it. Now, am I wishing Sarah any ill? No. After it happens enough, I'm like, you know what? Hey, my name's Rob Noerr. Channel's Normal America. Thanks for having me. I'm out. Oh, the trolls. Rub, rage, quit, blah, blah, blah. It's not worth my fucking time.
So I didn't know this was a repeated behavior by this jigsaw slag. It just seems like with these panels, and this might be a female thing, but they just like attention. So any men that are just gonna stick around to give her attention, she starts to form a bond with instead of having a higher sense of purpose, service, and duty. I think that's where she zigged when she should have zagged. I don't know what she's thinking. She had a great thing going, but let's get into it.
I was like, we're going back and forth. I'm like, can you answer this? He's like, no, I refuse. And I'm like, well, then fuck it. Either he goes or I go, because what's the fucking sense of being here? If I'm the panelist and the people that are arguing with me are like, nope, we refuse to engage. I don't do well with ultimatums. I'm like, if it came out that way, I didn't mean it as an ultimatum. I meant, why the fuck am I here if they're going to be here? I have nothing to say. Clay, have you heard of this story?
I don't believe
you know that one
to any of your questions.
All right, hey, Sarah, I'm out then. If the only two people here that are going to fucking talk doesn't want to respond to me, then fuck it, I'm out. You can hang out with those two. So it's me or them. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I'm sad.
Well, to be fair, Rob, I don't play that game. So if you... Hold on. I'm going to put it to you this way. I host open panels for a reason. It is up to the chat to boot people from the panel. If you want to send a brigade to send $100 to officially boot somebody for the night, we can go that way. But I don't play the whole, well, it's me or them kind of bullshit, because that kind of negates the entirety of my show.
So then, okay. That's fair. So then I will just sit here while they say we're not going to respond to anything you say.
You don't have to respond to them.
That's fine.
I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to do.
Okay.
I don't care. But I don't play the like me or them thing, because that's kind of like an asshole move, number one.
Well, no. Wait, it's not an asshole. I'm not saying that you have to boot them. I'm saying, what's the point of this panel if the only three people talking, if they're like, well, we're not going to respond to anything you say. We're not going to. We're not going to answer questions.
Then somebody else can ask questions too. That's fine.
I'm a pretty good debater. I have no fucking clue. I have no clue what the strategy is at this point. I don't know. I've tried damn near everything. I've asked the moderator. When I ask the moderator, people like Sarah tell me it's my problem, that I'm appealing to the moderator. That's putting a target on my back. People say that's a bitch move. I've said, hey, fuck you, peace out, I'm leaving. That's a bitch move. That's rage quitting. I've suggested people putting timers on. People are like, oh, appeal to the moderator. What a bitch. I've shouted over them. Wow, Rob, you look like an unhinged asshole. I thought you were supposed to be a good debater. These fucking people can't debate.
Now, a telltale sign you're being gaslit is when you're really good at something, like Rob is good at debating. He's in this situation where someone who's supposed to be pretty much on his side, the moderator, but even if she's just, this is what I said in the last video, even if she's just moderating evenly and not trying to be biased, she still did a bad job moderating. But you know you're being gaslit when you're like, wait a minute, I'm good at this, so how can I adjust? I don't even know how to adjust for this debate style. I'm just being silenced and suppressed and talked over. That's how you know something's up. But let's hear Rob's reaction to Sara sending him a message for some words of advice for Rob as to what he can do better in the future.
Man, I was like, I think that fucking moderation sucks. I think that fucking sucks. What the fuck? I'm just getting yelled over? Whatever. Anyways, no hard feelings. And I don't give a fuck, right? I can't help that some people in my audience also thought that the fucking moderation sucked. So apparently they said something to Sara. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't watch her channel. She sent me a message. And Andrew read this on stream today because he asked about it. She says, there's a secret weapon to panels. You can't show, this is the next day. There's a secret weapon to panels. You can't show any of your cards at all. By that I mean if someone's annoying you, interrupting or poking at things that raise your temperature, you can't let it bother you visually. The other panelists subconsciously will see those trigger points and zero in on it. They do it every time to you. You're an easy target. It's unsolicited advice. I'm aware. But the best tip I could give you is to stop reacting to their pokes and prods. Open panels are meant to be fun, lighthearted, and relaxed. They have to be that way or else they wouldn't be so fun and inviting to anyone. Witty banter plus topic discussion equals a great panel. You often enter them very harshly and seriously and demanding. I've noticed you take insults very personally. And that's what they'll run you out, and that's why they'll run you out every time, because it's a killjoy to everyone else. Why is this guy taking things so serious? You gotta laugh at the digs, talk through the interruptions, and roll with the punches. Everyone throws their punches, takes the hits, laughs, and comes back the next day with a clean slate ready for more. Trash talking about an open panel being too chaotic is like complaining that the sky is blue. They will always be chaotic. You can either handle them or you can't. Now, when I received that message on October 8th, I was fucking livid. I was like, you motherfucker. Who the fuck are you? You want to know what I thought when Sara sent that message? You want to know what I wanted to say out loud? I wanted to say, what the fuck are you? What do? Moderate poorly? You're one of the dime a dozen fucking people that bring on panelists that let them be the entertainment? Because you're incapable of doing it yourself? By the way, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't get it twisted. I don't need your fucking advice. Who the fuck are you? That's what I wanted to say. But I have a tremendous wife. And I was like, can you fucking believe this? And my wife said, Rob, take a breath. Don't respond for 24 hours. Then you say what you want. But you should probably wait 24 hours. And I did. And I'm glad I did.
Rob coming in hot with a super based wife that eases the tension, doesn't want him to ruin his professional contacts, and he listens to her. Excellent. But let's explore how Sara just doesn't understand the assignment. Right wing. Want right wing to do good. Don't help left do good. Help right wing do good. Very easy to understand.
I want to get to Sara. Sara, then, you saw it, right? It's not necessarily that Sara said a bunch of shit. It's that she sat there while they were shit talking. That's the issue. Now, I'm pissed off that it's like, you motherfucker. You sent me this unsolicited advice previously and all this bullshit. And I kept my mouth shut, basically. I said your moderation wasn't that great, but that's it. Ask my channel. I was like, hey, I wish Sara the best. Open panels aren't for me anymore. Good luck to her. And I always talked her up. I said, I want people that are right-wing. This is something that Andrew and me have in common. We want the right to win everything. Everything. If we have a streamer with 2 followers, we want them to fucking crush the left-wing streamer with 2 followers. So she's giving me this advice. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And there's nothing I hate more than like this fake, like, let me help you out. Like from a place of condescension. Fuck you. Who the fuck are you? What are you talking about? Oh, thanks so much for your help. Thank you.
So I know this is online stuff for a lot of people, but there is money to be made and influence to be had. It's for a purpose, and not just for the money. These are real jobs. This is real work being put in to try to establish this right-wing infrastructure online in the debate space. Especially being spearheaded by Andrew Wilson. Come on, lady. So what's this sad, solemn clam do? Goes on an adversarial stream, one that doesn't like Rob, just to shit-talk him the entire time, and she sat there for 3 hours and listened to it and was laughing along with it. Why would you do that when these are people that you work with?
Anyways, moving on. But there I saw Sara. I'm just gonna say this. I happen to be privy to the fact that Sara and me may be working together in the future on things like DebateCon or other projects. So I'm like, why the fuck would you, why would you do this? Why would you you got something to say? Come say it to my fucking face. You're gonna go on a panel? For 3 hours, she sat in that fucking panel. Because I went back and checked. 3 hours? You sat in that fucking panel? While they talk shit on me? And you're yucking it up and all that shit? Then they intentionally sent trolls over and you sat there the whole time? 3 fucking hours? I saw this about 30, 40 seconds after I fucking turned Dusty's video on. And I about died of laughter. In fact, I woke my wife up laughing from the bathroom.
Well, I think this is what happens when people fuck with the panelverse that way. Right, if you're not a panelverse person and you come in and you try to fuck with the panelverse people, like, they will all band together. Like, you just can't do that. You can't go around to panelverse shows and flip out on...
I want to be clear here. So what Sarah's talking about is, well, I've been fucking with her friends on her panel, what she calls the panelverse, and they're all going to stick together. So, hey, you got to know. You start going after them, they're all going to brigade your channel.
So for some reason, Sara likes this parasocial attention she's getting, even though she's still not really anybody. And she calls it the panelverse, and she makes it sound like that's where her allegiance is. She's like, hey, the panelverse. Not the person that cuts her a check, not the person that brings her an audience, not the people that have a much more ethical political philosophy, but no, she chooses the panelverse.
Now, I have an editor whose name is Black Elk, who's the best. Enjoy.
I think he doesn't know the power of the panelverse.
Oh shit! Not the panelverse! Oh no! Not the fucking panelverse!
You know, from my editor to his editor, great edit.
Oh shit! Not the panelverse! Oh no! Not the fucking panelverse!
You know, as someone who deals with their anger through comedy and mockery, his frustration is palpable with how he sang those high notes. But let's shift the tone for a second. Now it's time for Andrew Wilson's response, which is my entire reason for making this video. If you want to know how I feel about Andrew Wilson, I stated it clearly in this video from 7 months ago. I wouldn't say I'm an atheist liberal that's a cultural Christian. I would say that I would say I'm an atheist liberal that's an Andrew Wilson Christian nationalist. I love Andrew Wilson. Dude, the way he speaks about this, he looks like he's in The Godfather. Like, he acts like he's at the head of a crime syndicate and one of his own betrayed him. Just get a load of this guy.
But let me explain what's going on. So I have this rule, right? There's 2 of them, really. The first is, you put a knife in my back, you only ever get to do it once. That's the first rule. It's a good rule. I used to be like, yeah, you know, we can maybe work it out, and you know, but over the years, I've just decided that it's just too much work, and I'm too busy. I'm too busy. And the second is, if you're too stupid to get it, you're too dangerous to work with. Those are the 2 rules. Pretty easy, right? You're too stupid to get it, then there's no point in working with you. And if you stick a knife in my back, that's the end of it. Now, I don't ever do the revenge thing. I never go for repercussions. I never do any of that. I do the worst possible thing that you could ever do to a person, which is I just cut off all contact with them. That's it. That's usually the worst possible thing you could ever do to people who stick a knife in your back. So that usually works the best for me. You may know her as Sara the Tomato, who, honestly, the truth is, only has a channel which is beginning to rise to prominence, due 100,000% to the Crucible and one Andrew Wilson. Now, why is it that Sara would be on a panel while all of these other non-tent maker anonymous idiots are sending trolls over to Rob's channel and participating and contributing to that, when she knows how important Rob Noerr is to the Crucible and how much of a valued team member he is? I have no idea, but that was the stupidest thing that she's probably ever done.
Dude, he's reading his kid the riot act right now. When you mess up in his household, he sits you down and you have to listen to this, and it's torture because you know he's right. And he's about to go into every prominent detail of why what you did was not only foolish, but affected people in the tribe. This is what right-wing power looks like. It is swift. It is reasoned. This is why you are excommunicated from the pack, and your transgressions will be clearly stated for all to see, which is the most effective way to communicate expectations to the tribe. But let's get back into it.
What you're about to see is Sara the Tomato here setting her feet on fire to warm up her hands. I have no idea why she decided to do this. You have no idea the opportunities which have been extended to her through me, right? But it's my own fault. I take full responsibility for all of this. So here's Sara's useful aspect of what she does. She books me debates. That's it. I adhere to the moderation of the debate because that's what I do. That's the relationship. I've always said for people who support us, we'll support them. A lot of these very obscure channels get a lot of subs and get a lot of cash because of that. I mean, a lot. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. You don't come for the very people who are at the forefront who provision you, make it possible. She's about to have a big 20,000 sub party. Oh, that's great. That's great. You're welcome. My only business here is why it would be that she would be on a panel that's not hers, criticizing and laughing as they send trolls to Rob Noerr's channel, who we spent significant amount of resources to grow and make sure had enough of a force so that he could play whack-a-mole with up-and-coming leftists.
This is what was so weird to me. I thought this was an unspoken or spoken rule between them. All these leftists have different panels they go on. There's no, like, right-wing hosts anywhere. So it just seemed like he was trying to build up a right-wing infrastructure of a right-wing panel that actually enforces rules and doesn't play favorites with leftists. Sounds pretty simple at the end of the day to have that, doesn't it? When you have the amount of success and revenue that Andrew Wilson is taking in, you would think it would be easy to find a person to be able to do this.
So let's dive in and watch the complete kerfuffle as this woman completely destroys all working relationship with yours truly forevermore.
Well, I don't know. How should I say this, Star?
Isn't she doing DebateCon? Oh, no. Oh, you're right. Oh, my God. Oh, how would we ever be able to coordinate DebateCon without her? Mantid will be taking over DebateCon. No problem. We'll switch the coordination right to Mantid. That was a great opportunity for Sara. Not for me. We got a great staff. My staff will take that over in 5 seconds. I'll pay her out what I promised her for DebateCon. Done.
Yeah, he
Really?
called me yesterday, and then, yeah, I called him up, yeah.
Wow, that's it.
Ha 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 ha. What an optics nightmare. It just continues to get worse and worse and worse. Watch for yourself. Ha 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 ha. Well, guess what? Ha 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 ha. I know that there are going to be people who say, why don't you bring Sara up to give her side of things? Why didn't she bring Rob up to give his? She can sit and suffer and watch, just like he had to wake up and suffer and watch her knife him right in the back on a panel that it was none of her business, had nothing to do, it wasn't her show, staying on with these stupid panelverse idiots, nobodies. Chuckle Wucklin while they send trolls over to try to make an optical spectacle of Rob Noerr. Here's a dirty secret. Rob's a better debater than I am.
Dude, that's how you know he is going to bat for his boy right now and letting everyone know to chill when it comes to messing with him. Andrew Wilson saying Rob Noerr is a better debater than him is really just a boss move. Most people don't believe that. Rob doesn't even believe that. But this is being said strategically to let everyone know the level of respect that he has for Rob and to not treat him like some sort of schmuck. Put some respect on the man's name.
And by the way, I also proudly call him one of my best friends. He's one of my best friends. Like, this guy has been, you can't even imagine how kind this man is behind the scenes, especially to yours truly and my family, and especially when we were in our time of need. There was Rob. Rob is not replaceable. You don't make new Rob Noerrs. I'm never going to be able to sit down with a person and over the years mold them into a brand new Rob Noerr. He's not replaceable. All these idiots, nobody's ever going to know who the they are ever. They stream to 3 to 7 to 10 people if they're lucky, and that's usually from other panelverse members. They all just watch each other's streams. It's the most pathetic display that you've ever seen. Rob Noerr is not replaceable. He is not a person who can be replaced. You don't get to make a new one. Sarah's always been replaceable. That's what's hilarious. She's always been replaceable. Rob Noerr, he's not replaceable. He's one of the best that there is at what he does. I'm not going to find another Rob Noerr. Sarah's are growing on trees. You just walk outside and pick them like they're apples. They're everywhere. There's a million different panel hosts who are out there, a gazillion, in fact. And again, I don't even have anything against any of these people. Not a single one of them. Why? They're not affiliated with us. They're not people of great import who I respect, right? I don't give a shit what they say. I don't care if Powder Dusty does a stream tomorrow talking about me all day. I'll still go on a show and do a debate. I don't even fucking care about that. Don't care at all. Not the point. Point is that you don't go out of your way to join in a panel with nobodies like this and troll a channel like Rob Noerr's, talk a bunch of shit about him with these people when all of your bills are being paid by the Crucible. You
never see the left or the liberals do something like this. This is just on the right wing, okay? This is how the right wing can stick together, even if he's wrong, even if he's 100% wrong. We've seen what Hassan, Destiny, and Vosh get away with and maintain their audience. They can't lose. So why would we put ourselves in a position to lose? What are we gonna do? Start throwing each other under the bus against people that will dance on your grave? Oh, but our principles, and we don't have principles if we don't win, if we don't shift the culture. That's if he was, but he wasn't even wrong. He's important. He has utility. It's merit-based. How useful are you, and how good of a person are you? Am I talking to a kindergartner right now? I just thought this stuff was obvious, but apparently it's a enlightened skill to have.
that they sent over to troll Rob now popping up on this panel. That's really weird. It was like there was some kind of coordinated effort here, because there was, to try to optically make Rob Noerr look bad, because there was. It almost seems like Sarah's participating in this, because she is.
You need to go back and see when you act like a joke, get treated like a joke.
Well, I think this is what happens when people with the panelverse that way, right? If you're not a panelverse person and you come in and you try to with the panelverse.
Oh shit! Not the panelverse! Oh no! Not the fucking panelverse!
Who's this talking? Why, that's Sara the Tomato talking. Let's make sure we don't miss a second.
Troll him. Like, I genuinely am.
Woman, give me another drink, please.
Annoyed. Like, I'm genuinely annoyed with him.
Everybody did great. It was actually funny as and yeah, act like a joke, get treated like a joke.
Rob acts like a joke, he gets treated like a joke. The only person who's on any of these panels who's not a joke, who's had real life effects in the world, the only person who's made any sort of dent in the culture war at all, the only one who's ever done anything, he's the joke. All of these no cam, no name nobodies, they're the successful people you see.
Well, I think this is what happens when people with the panelverse that way.
Sara says this is what happens when people with the panelverse.
Right. If you're not a panelverse person and you come in and you try to with the panelverse people, like they will all band together. Like you just can't do that. You just can't. You can't go around to panelverse shows and flip out on hosts and get mad at hosts or with host shows and do that kind of stuff and then expect everyone to turn and look at you and be like, oh yeah, come on back.
Let's listen to it again.
And you come in and you try to with the panelverse people.
Oh, you try to with the panelverse people? Oh no, not the panelverse people who I've blown out a million times.
Like they will all band together.
Well, I agree. She's right. Listen to the last part
You
here.
come in and you try to with the panelverse people, like they will all band together.
You come in though and you try to with the Crucible and we all band together too.
I think he doesn't know the power of the panelverse.
I think he doesn't know the power of the panelverse. What part of the Crucible takes care of its own people are we not understanding here? We take care of our own people. You know where you're never going to catch me? On oppositional panels talking about Rob Noerr.
Ah, what a gem. So let's end it here. We're about to endure a massive psyop on the right. It's distressing. It can become exhausting. But watching this rejuvenates my spirit. You think the left is gone? You think trans kids and BLM went away? You think with our corrupt liberal democracy that the left isn't going to gain power again? We gotta squat up. Hard. Harder than an R. Once we get a handle on the leftist political violence and rapidly shifting demographics in the country, then maybe we can talk about the other stuff on the right. But in the meantime, man up, squat up, and never shut the heck up. Have a good one.